CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Quaglia, sitting here with Marv and with Mike Molyneux. And the Patriots, they got to win this week. If we were going to do a list of predictions for who they were going to beat, who they weren't going to beat, I'm sure they would have smoked the, at the time, 2-7 Texans. And they probably would have lost to Kyler Murray, who was in the conversation for the MVP race. So the Patriots, Nick Folk, the greatest kicker of all time, bangs one through to put the team up 20-17. And the Patriots somehow pull that one out. I mean, granted, should they have won that football game? Probably not. But in their defense, they also should have had an extra touchdown for that horrific blindside block call.
That's terrible.
And I've seen reporters and I've seen people say on Twitter, like, oh, you know what? Technically, that's the right call. I don't care if technically that's the right call. What's he supposed to do on that play? Let him tackle him? Move out of the way?
One thing we know for sure, Olszewski was getting caught.
Yes. How come every other NFL team seems like they have guys who, like, when they get in open space, they can break away? But the Patriots don't have anybody who could do that.
that dude was getting caught, and I think we all know
it. Yeah. So you look at the Patriots roster right now, you look at some of the guys that you need to produce, and one guy in specifically, I don't think in specific's a phrase, specifically who you would hope is producing, first round pick last year, N'Keal Harry. Guys, the guy is still not here. He's still not showing up. 0 this week. 0 catches, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Actually, in fact, I think it was -2 yards for N'Keal Harry this week. So, guys, I mean, we're at that point now. We're 2.5 years into his career, or a year and a half into his career. Is it officially fair to say that N'Keal Harry is a bust? Are you done with N'Keal Harry on this New England Patriots football team? Marv, let's start with you. What do you think?
Look, man, I brought N'Keal up last week. And everything I said last week, I'm going to say it again. N'Keal's just a guy. He's just a guy on the team. Everything that you brought him in for, he doesn't do. All the hype that we thought, you know, a guy who's going to, once he catches the ball, he's going to bring yards after the catch. He doesn't do that.
That was the only thing you heard about him. The only thing.
The other thing, Nick, the other thing you heard about him is he's not a burner, but the catch in traffic. He'll be able to catch in traffic. Oh, last game against the Cardinals, the one that he dropped was a catch in traffic. You know, he had to extend his arms, and it was a drop. He has not shown you, especially this year. You know, last year we saw maybe some type of potential. This year, he has shown you nothing for you to be confident in him as a valuable receiver in this team. And it's unfortunate. He hasn't played probably a full season of football yet. Injuries have taken him down. I think the offensive play calls from Josh McDaniels has not helped him out at all. But he hasn't looked good. Yeah, I don't want to call him a bust yet, but he's trending that way. And another reason why he's trending that way, DK Metcalf probably is a top 5 wide receiver in the league right now. Top 5.
That's the name that keeps getting brought up. My God, he looks good.
He's a monster, and he's the same built as N'Keal Harry, right? Over 6 feet, physical receiver. Patriots chose to go for N'Keal Harry instead of DK. And DK, Mark was, he's not good at route run. He can't run routes well. We saw last game against the Cardinals, Cam is begging N'Keal, begging him. How would the best protection Cam had all game? Just begging N'Keal, please move a little forward for me. Do something, N'Keal, something. And he couldn't even do that. So we can't even say N'Keal's a great route runner. We see the holds. We see the penalties he's giving up. He's not a great run blocker. It's tough right now. It's really tough for N'Keal. And this is coming from a guy, I really want to support him. I want to give him all the chances in the world. But I have to be honest, it's not looking good. He's looking like another guy on the field right there. I mean, we see it. He's getting out-targeted by Jakobi, Meyers, and Damiere Byrd. The writing's on the wall.
And you know what? You brought up DK Metcalf, and specifically, I have DK Metcalf's numbers from this past weekend's game written down on my notes. DK Metcalf this week, and compare this to N'Keal Harry, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Potentially negative 2 yards. DK Metcalf, 10 receptions for 177 yards. Taking 30 picks, about 32 picks after N'Keal Harry. So when you look at those numbers, man, that hurts. And another thing about N'Keal Harry that's been killing me since he started playing for the Patriots, really. And I don't have the official numbers in front of me. This is just kind of an eye test thinking about it. Is it me or does the guy get a million penalties? Seems like he's always getting penalized.
The holding calls don't help his affair at all.
No, they don't. It's bad. It's becoming bad. Mike, what do you think?
I'm all set with N'Keal Harry. I'm officially all set with N'Keal Harry. Let me take you through a few names that Belichick has drafted over the years at wide receiver. I'm officially chucking N'Keal Harry into that group of bust. Devin Lucien, Josh Bryce, Aaron Dobson, Brandon Tate, Taylor Price, Chad Jackson.
Chad Jackson might be like the headliner for that list.
And granted, the thing that separates N'Keal Harry from these guys, Patriots took him in the first round. These guys were late picks. So you're like, maybe they pan out, maybe not. Belichick is maybe hoping that he struck gold with some of these late round picks at wide receiver, but none of them really panned out to anything great. You take N'Keal Harry, drafted first round, and now he's in the same boat of some of these guys I listed. N'Keal Harry's supposed to come into the season as possibly the number 2 wide receiver on this depth chart.
There was hype around him, like not even just for Patriots fans. In general, there were a lot of like pre-fantasy football podcasts that I heard or clips that people were like, N'Keal Harry might be a steal.
Oh yeah,
I had him for a little bit.
People said, oh well, he might be Cam's favorite option when people were thinking Sanu, because as soon as Cam signed to Sanu, New England, you saw workout videos with Sanu. We know how that went. But then you saw videos with him and with N'Keal and Cam. So you're like, okay, maybe he has trust in N'Keal. And again, the probably thought process was he might be the number 2 option on this team. And now he's taking a backseat to Meyers. He's taking a backseat to Byrd. And I'm telling you, if Julian
probably will take a backseat to Moncrief.
Moncrief is looking like he might crack the depth chart. And I'm telling you, if Julian Edelman was healthy and on the field, I don't even know if N'Keal Harry should be able to suit up on Sundays, because he serves no purpose to me. This guy who a lot of people had a lot of stock in and hoped that he would be the weapon on this team, the breakout star possibly. People probably had him as the breakout offensive weapon. Obviously, Damian Harris is playing well, but people figured that second year N'Keal Harry was going to really make a name for himself. And he has done nothing. In this sorry-ass offense that the Patriots have, you think maybe he might be the bright spot. Edelman's getting older. Jakobi, Meyers, and Byrd have, they're not really, established. But this high draft pick and N'Keal Harry would be someone that this offense can rely upon. And he has not done anything. I'm officially, right now, on this episode of Roundtable, calling N'Keal Harry a bust. Another bust in the long line of wide receiver busts under Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and look, I'm not. And look, I'm not officially. I'm not going Mike territory here. I'm not going to jump in and say he's a bust, but he's not just approaching. He's on top of being a bust. His key is in the door. He is ready to open up and just walk into bust territory. But guys, he's a first round pick, and he should be the number 1 weapon, if not number 2. He's not even close to that. He's not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was one play from this past week where Cam was scrambling right, and they had to get a first down. And yeah, and was it N'Keal Harry?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. talking about? He was like 5 yards from the first down marker, and Nikhil was just standing there. So I mean, he's not working out. Again, I'm not gonna call him a bust, but man, is he close. He is right on top of that territory. He might not make the team next year if he continues on this track.
It doesn't help the fact that the other wide receivers who are drafted around him are playing out of their minds. That's what doesn't help his case at all either.
Especially this year.
Yes.
I mean, this year's rookie draft class is nuts for receivers.
And I believe if the Patriots had known that this was going to be the N'Keal Harry that they were going to get, because we have to remember there wasn't an extended training camp and things like that. Sanu's probably still on this team. I saw Sanu on Thanksgiving. He looked pretty damn good to me.
Yeah. No, you're right. They've and that was the thing too over training camp. Like you heard some positive things about N'Keal Harry. You really heard that he was stepping up and he looked like he was going to be, again, like Cam Newton is going to love this guy this season. And it just has not turned out. I can't get over that play that we were just talking about where Cam was like, N'Keal, just run up the field, man. Like get your ass moving. N'Keal Harry on top of the territory of being a bust.